it as a chutput war. Mallikarjun Kharge, the Congress president, and his party haven't just insulted the government, viewers. They've mocked the blood, the sweat, the sacrifice of India's armed forces, the people who serve this country. And sometimes, viewers, put their lives on the line for us so that we can sleep better, so we can actually come out and speak in public. The Congress party tonight can speak freely because its life is safeguarded by the armed forces. The same armed forces, viewers, that it chooses to belittle. Listen.
ಇದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ದಾಗ 17ನೇ ತಾರೀಕು ನೀವು ಕಾಶ್ಮೀರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ಸಲ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ನೀವು ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಟೂರಿಸ್ಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಪೊಲೀಸರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ? ನೀವು ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತೊಂದರೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನತಕ್ಕಂತ ಮಾತು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ 26 ಪ್ರಾಣಗಳನ್ನು ಉಳಿತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಈಗೇನು ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಚುಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಯುದ್ಧಗಳು ನಡೆದಿವೆ.
Chutput youth, viewers, and guess what his man is saying? He is implying that the Prime Minister deliberately did not go to Jammu and Kashmir because he knew a terror attack was going to take place. So he didn't go, and he allowed tourists to go so they would be murdered, so that, viewers, at the end of the day, he could go out and do a chutput youth. Now, this isn't a slip of the tongue. The entire Congress ecosystem, its allies, it's part of a pattern. Mehbooba Mufti of the PDP, she said today, like Mr. Kharge, I don't know what has been achieved. Those terrorists who massacred 26 innocent civilians in Pahalgam are still at large. They have not been nabbed. External Affairs Minister has said he had warned Pakistan before India attacked. It may have given the terrorists an opportunity to escape. For me, the achievement is 0. 0 out of 0, in fact. Rahul Gandhi over the weekend said, EM Jaishankar's silence isn't just telling, it's damning. So I'll ask again, how many Indian aircraft did we lose because Pakistan knew? This wasn't a lapse, it was a crime, and the nation deserves the truth, unquote. This man, viewers, happily ignored what the DGMOs had said in the press conference. They said that in every war, you factor losses. And it is also true of the Indian Armed Forces, and when the time comes, we will reveal everything. India is a democracy, you can't hide, viewers. Then there's, of course, Pawan Khera, who says this video of S. Jaishankar is being used in Pakistan to ridicule us. This leaves behind a trail of unanswered questions. How many terrorists were allowed to escape because we gave time to Pakistan? Is that why Masood Azhar escaped? Aditya Thackeray, Jaishankar said we informed Pakistan beforehand about the attack. Isn't this treachery? Now, viewers, everyone knows what Jaishankar was saying. His words have been twisted out of context. The MEA has come out repeatedly and put it in the right context. Congress party leaders like Shashi Tharoor and others have also said that people are being unfair to Dr. Jaishankar. But every time, viewers, our Jawans deliver a blow to India's enemies, be it in Balakot, Uri, Galwan, or now, post-Pahalgam Operation Sindoor, the Congress party and the attended ecosystem jumps in to sow doubt, cast aspersions, parrot the language of Islamabad, or completely negate a military achievement. Now, let me present you with the hard facts, and you judge, viewers, after I tell you these hard facts. The UPA refused to acknowledge Kargil Vijay Divas for 5 years. Their MPs believed Kargil was NDA's war, not India's war to win. NDA's war. So why should we observe it? So from 2004 to 2009, viewers, they didn't. And am I making this up? No. In 2009, then Congress Member of Parliament Rashid Alvi, he came out and I said, and I quote, Kargil isn't a thing to be celebrated. The war was fought within our territory. We didn't even come to know when the Pakistani army crossed over and built bunkers inside our territory. It's only the NDA which may celebrate, unquote. A huge number of young men, able-bodied men, patriots, sacrificed their lives to bring back, restore India's sovereignty. And they say that we don't want to celebrate that. Because Congress leaders refused to acknowledge that Indian military under Modi had struck Jaish-e-Mohammed terror camp in Balakot in 2019. Just as recently as 3rd of May, I'm not even going back too far in time, Charanjit Channi, the ex-Punjab Chief Minister, who's a senior Congress Dalit leader, said, and I quote, 40 security personnel were killed in Pulwama in February 2019. It was election season. At that time, the government said, we will do this, we will do that. Even today, I do not know where the surgical strike happened, unquote. Now, who benefits when India's opposition party belittles the nation's military victories? Certainly not the country. India doesn't benefit. But perhaps someone across the border is listening with glee and with a smile. Listen in, viewers, I'm not joking. This is all being played up in Pakistani media. And the Pakistanis are saying, when the Indian opposition is saying that they didn't do anything for Operation Sindoor, then clearly they are lying about having won a war. And the result is that that man on your screens, Munir, viewers, has given himself a promotion. Because he says, I won the war. Even the Indian opposition is saying it. Even Pakistani media people are saying it. And Hamid Mir, who's a prominent anchor in Pakistan, viewers, this is what happened on his show. Watch.
अच्छा डॉक्टर साहब, मैं आपको ना एक इंडियन कांग्रेस के एक रहनुमा है, उनका नाम है पवन खीर साहब। पवन खीर साहब जो है वो एक तरफ तो उनकी पार्टी जो है वो जो डेलीगेशंस जा रहे हैं पाकिस्तान के खिलाफ लॉबिंग करने, एक तो उसमें शामिल हो रहे हैं डेलीगेशन, लेकिन दूसरी तरफ पवन खीर साहब मोदी साहब को किस तरीके से क्रिटिसाइज कर रहे हैं, जरा सुने।
पिछले पूरे एक हफ्ते में अमेरिकी राष्ट्रपति डोनाल्ड ट्रंप एक बहुत खौफनाक बात बोली कि उन्होंने भारत को व्यापार रोकने की धमकी देकर युद्ध रुकवाया। तो सिंदूर का सौदा होता रहा, प्रधानमंत्री चुप रहे। विदेश मंत्री के मुंह से एक शब्द नहीं निकल रहा, एक शब्द नहीं निकल रहा, दोनों के मुंह से नहीं निकल रहा।
ये मैंने एक क्लिप इसलिए चलाया है कि इंडियन कांग्रेस के एक सीनियर रहनुमा जो हैं वो ये कह रहे हैं कि सिंदूर का सौदा होता रहा और मोदी साहब और विदेश मंत्री साहब जो हैं वो खामोश रहे। इतना बड़ा इल्जाम लगा दिया उन्होंने। एक तो उन्होंने एतराफ कर लिया है कि ये जो जंग है इसमें ऑपरेशन सिंदूर नाकाम हो गया, फेल हो गया, और दूसरा इल्जाम उन्होंने लगा दिया है कि सिंदूर का सौदा हो गया है। तो क्या इस तरह का इल्जाम पाकिस्तान की ऑपोजिशन ने लगाया है अपनी हुकूमत पे? नहीं लगाया।
There you go, viewers, there you go. They are saying that this kind of accusation has not even been made by Pakistan's opposition parties on the ruling alliance there. So they are saying that all this is proof that we won the war. No wonder Munir has promoted himself and become Field Marshal, if you please, viewers. What's truly galling is that Operation Sindoor wasn't just strategic, it was a symbol of a new India, bold, decisive and unapologetic. The Congress's contempt for it reeks of political insecurity. It cannot stand that under the NDA, India has stopped playing the victim and started setting the terms. Viewers, and it is articulating it, their frustration, their insecurities in a way that is today advantaging Pakistan. And the proof is there. So all of Pakistan who is watching the television is listening to Pawan Khera and other members of the Congress like Kharge and company and saying, we won the war. Can you imagine, viewers? Our soldiers sacrificed, and because of our opposition today, their sacrifice has gone in vain. Why does the Congress often end up speaking the language of the enemies? Do military successes under Modi government trigger political insecurity in the Congress? Let's ask some questions tonight. Fundamentally, viewers, let me not stand between you and the panel. And let's ask those direct questions and let's go straight across. I want to begin, in fact, with Vivek Srivastava and the other representatives of the Congress party. Vivek Srivastava, let me first ask you, sir. The opposition, it appears, is going out of its way to give Pakistan all the accolades for Operation Sindoor. Are you so politically insecure? Are you so politically insecure that you'll sell your country out so that you can look good? Isn't this shameful? What do you mean no?
No.
No, what do you mean no?
It is not a question of number one. Yeah, no, let me speak. Number one.
No, आपको छुटपुट लगा.
Opposition की बात
1 second, is opposition. No, hang on, is Operation Sindoor छुटपुट?
Why not?
Why not?
I endorse what Mallikarjun Kharge has said, because despite the valor and the bravado of the armed forces, there was a failure on the part of the Foreign Ministry, the External Affairs Ministry. Not a single country supported India. We were isolated. Vishwaguru, after travelling 168 foreign visits, there was nobody coming out and saying, "Hum Hindustan ke saath hain."
What is that got to do? What is that got to do with the Operation Sindoor? Please.
Of
One
course,
second.
we will
Don't
criticize
muddle
the
issues.
government. It is my country.
Operation Sindoor.
It is my
Just
country.
relax. Calm down.
And if
calm
you
down.
try
Don't get
to,
hysterical.
if you try to go,
Listen, don't
and
get
go down
hysterical.
In front of Trump, I will ask you
Don't
questions.
get hysterical. Calm down. Calm down. Don't get hysterical. People who lose their shirt
If
are losing the argument. You know this better than anyone else. So just calm down.
No.
Don't lose your shirt. I want to ask you a question. Operation Sindoor, excuse me, sir. Operation Sindoor
Yes.
is India's response militarily to Pakistan's provocation. Kharge says it was a chutput response. A chutput response. This is a political party, viewers. This is a political party. This is a political party that could not bring itself to act after 26/11. It was frozen. Its turbulence was frozen. And they are sitting in judgment of an operation that is redefined. Military strategy, military doctrine.
We did not bow down in front of the Americans.
You didn't do anything. What were you going to go down? You went down in front of the Pakistanis at Sharm el Sheikh. You went down in front of the Pakistanis in Sharm el
The
Sheikh.
government has been making a fool of the people. नहीं sir, 10 साल से उल्लू बना रही है ये सरकार. अखंड भारत.
Can I come in?
बलूचिस्तान अलग,
One second.
सिंध अलग, POK हमारा, भारत ही भारत. And in the end, you go down, touch the feet of Donald Trump, and Papa Trump tells you, keep quiet and have a ceasefire, and you do it.
I want you to see,
हम
viewers,
बोलेंगे सर, बोलेंगे.
I want you to see
Not a
some
single country
pictures
stood
now.
with us.
I
Turkey
want
with
us
them,
to see the
China
pictures
with them,
of India's
Russia,
attack.
Thailand, Americans with them.
Okay.
Who was with us?
Okay. Hysteria personified tonight. Those who shout loudest, viewers, have something to hide. This is Noor Khan Air Base, Rawalpindi, blown to smithereens under the nose of that man who's promoting himself. I would have hung myself in shame, viewers. There's an old, and before I bring in Sanju Verma, let me bring in a military man who has taken a shot for this country. I actually want to hear from General G.D. Bakshi. Sanju Verma ji, we must give space tonight to G.D. Bakshi, who's taken a bullet for this country, who has lost family members to this country, for this country, and against this terror outfit in Pakistan. And I want him to respond to what Kharge has said, to what Vivek Srivastava has said, to what Mufti has said, who has one leg, viewers, in Pakistan, by the looks of it. Yes, General Saab, General Bakshi.
Rahul, I find all this business a bit bizarre, surreal, right? I know it is the job of the opposition to oppose, but all that changes when there is a war, there is a conflict with a hostile enemy country. Then we sink our differences, all parties, we get together, we speak in one voice, there are no discordant notes, there are no dissonance in our narratives, there is just one Indian narrative. We don't create a situation where Pakistan is every day quoting your party spokesman on their television to say that India is telling a tissue of lies, India is telling a bunch of lies and we bashed India, this, that and the rest of it, right? Look, if you want to follow the Pakistani lie, Vivek, please see that Pakistan has promoted General Asim Munir to Field Marshal. They think it is such an important conflict, such an important war, So at least follow the Pakistani, parrot the Pakistani line if you want to do that. They are saying हमने field marshal बना दिया है Asim Munir को. It is such an important
Are you happy
war,
with the
you know.
ceasefire?
And after we
Are you
had...
happy with this ceasefire?
Are
you happy with the ceasefire?
But then I
The
don't
way
go
it was
around
done
yelling like you.
When the army was moving
No,
forward.
I may have wanted...
You
Achha, now
should.
stop. I
should-
have
you
heard
should
you
speak
with
for the
patience.
army.
I have heard you with patience.
And you should expose these
Don't yell.
fellows.
Don't raise your voice. Don't raise your voice. I can raise it louder than yours. All right?
Speak for the
like
army
a
today.
gentleman.
Speak for the
I'll
army.
answer you like a
The
gentleman.
ceasefire was a sell-off.
So the army, okay. I don't mince any words. I would have been perhaps happier if we had gone in for 2-3 days longer. Okay? But I don't go around tom-tomming that till you provoke me. You know, this operation is
No, you
not
should.
over. We are still
You
in the
should.
midst of a war. And don't tell me what I should and I should not. Why did the Congress
all that
party
is
do
diplomatic.
nothing
All that is
after
diplomatic.
26/11?
The operation is
You
still
should
on.
have hit back.
The ceasefire
Don't
has
give us
happened.
all that big balloony stories. You were a bunch of cowards. You didn't do Fanny Adams. All right? You understand what FA means?
No.
Fanny
Don't
Adams,
try
I'm
to-
telling you.
don't
What did
try
you
to
do
give an
after
escape route to the
26/11?
government.
अरे क्या
Learn to
किया
take the
आपने
government to task.
जब हमारे 166 शहीद हो गए? कुछ नहीं किया. किलोटन डोसियर भेजे और हमको सिखा रहे हो.
नहीं इन्होंने बहुत किया जनरल साहब इन्होंने बहुत किया let me tell you what they did they went to Sharm el Sheikh and they sold India out completely. This is what they did. Viewers, there's a man called Nehru. I don't want to go back so much in time. The IWT, for which these people are so concerned that we are blocking Pakistan's water and the poor people who live down the river, etc., will not get human rights violation, all blah, blah, blah. This is what they've been saying. And you know what Nehru did? He not only gave Pakistan 80% of the water, viewers, but he also gave them money to build infrastructure, to build canals, to take our water. Viewers, that man gave away UNSC seat. That man, viewers, took Kashmir to the UNSC, where we have been locked. His daughter wins a war which was not won by her. They are talking about, ceasefire. They gave away 93,000 POWs for nothing. Viewers.
They were prisoners of war, sir.
So,
A war crime.
you can't. So hang on. What crime is it, sir? If I ask for property, no. If I ask for my own property in exchange for these people, hey, listen, you. You say that China is holding prisoners of war. China held prisoners of war. It continues to. It continues to incarcerate Muslims, feed them pork. तुम्हारी आवाज नहीं निकलती उस time.
No. Don't shift the goalpost.
Listen. I'm not shifting any point. People do what they have to do. Countries have to do what they have to do in their national interest. We had an opportunity. You can skewer Modi all you want and say that you should not have declared a ceasefire. Go ask Rahul Gandhi and his ilk. Why is it that Indira Gandhi? Why is it that Indira Gandhi gave away 93,000 POWs and got nothing back?
Indira Gandhi banna.
Rahul,
That's okay. That had to be done.
That had to be done. You wanted to sign off POK.
They were prisoners of war.
Yes, you wanted to sign off POK, sir.
can
Fair.
I?
No, yes,
That
it
had
was
to
a
be
deal.
done.
It was a deal.
Listen.
Shimla agreement was signed for peace.
Listen, my dear
Shimla
friend.
agreement was
Listen,
signed
my
for
dear
peace.
friend. Listen, my dear friend.
No.
Listen,
War
my
in
dear-
Kashmir, don't you know that?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
interject.
General. Yes, General. Yes.
Yeah, look, what had to be done was that after 26/11, you should have followed the advice of your Air Chief Marshal Fali Homi Major and attacked terror targets in Pakistan. Did you do that? You have a right to cast stones. If you have acted in your time, you have done nothing. You only whine diplomatically, man. So how are you finding fault? How are you finding
They
fault?
actually did a lot
The
more.
veterans are a different
They
category.
crossed the border.
We have been fighting all
They crossed
all
the border,
through.
General Saab.
So
They
if
crossed
we
the
had
border.
to ask
The way
questions,
we are
They
today.
crossed
We
the
will
border
ask it
to
of
have
our,
biryani.
soldiers.
They've crossed the border to have biryani. They have crossed the border repeatedly to hug
नहीं,
a former,
आपने क्या किया
a
यार?
former
What had to
general,
be done?
the army
Yes,
chief.
After 26/11, we
Nothing.
had to attack.
Okay.
We had to hit Pakistan. Did
Sanju
you
Verma
do that?
comes in.
Did
I
you
want
do
to
that?
also bring in Sheikh
And then
Amir,
go
leader of the
and
Congress
get
party.
baptized by the American president
One
and
second,
sign
one
a
second, one
ceasefire.
second, one second, my dear armchair warrior. Are any of your children in the military? Have you ever picked up a weapon to go and
Are you
defend
in the
this country?
military?
No.
Are you in the military?
Yes. So
Yeah.
just calm
Do
down.
you know my family?
It's not your
History?
life that
You
is at
don't know?
stake.
You
Okay?
calm down.
It's not your life that
No,
is
no,
at
sorry,
stake.
This is my country. You can defend Modi, I will not.
I know how you defend
Oh
your
my
country's
God.
interests by
What is
denying
If there
that
is a
Operation
failure,
Sindoor
if
even
there
took
is a
place.
diplomatic failure,
Yes,
it is
one
there.
second, one second. Sanju Verma, please respond politically to this gentleman who says that you signed a ceasefire under debilitating pressure. Aapne ghutne, pata nahi what phrase they use, that you have gone there and surrendered to Trump, etc.
Ghutne take diye.
You know, Rahul, I refuse to come in unless I am now given uninterrupted time because I listened very patiently
Of course.
to a lot of the gibberish being spewed. I did not heckle Vivek Srivastava even once. I hope he'll show me that courtesy. Otherwise, I do not wish to debate with this guy. He does not have the capacity to listen. Debate में सुनना भी पड़ेगा. भाई साहब सिर्फ बोलना नहीं है. You can't keep blabbering. Please keep your ears open.
Okay,
Don't just let
make
your
your
mouth
point,
work.
Sanju Verma. He's keeping quiet.
Thank you.
Yes.
First and foremost, there is a term that has been used here repeatedly. Ceasefire, ceasefire, ceasefire. Please go back, play in slow motion the DG MO press conference. Listen to Lieutenant General Rajiv Ghai. Listen to Air Marshal A.K. Bharti. We have paused. There is no ceasefire, point number one. Point number two, let me say this very categorically. 2016, when we avenged the Uri attack via the surgical strike, it was merely a ground operation where we crossed the LOC. Come 2019, when we avenged Pulwama with the Balakot strike, it was an air strike, and we not only crossed the LOC, we crossed the international border. But lo behold, come 2025, via Operation Sindoor, we not only crossed the LOC, we not only crossed the international border, we not only went beyond POK Rahul, but we smashed the heart of Pakistan, where their military infrastructure is supposedly at its strongest. Rawalpindi, Karachi, Lahore, Pakistani
pictures are there.
Punjab,
Yes.
Sialkot, Sargoda, Noor Khan Base, Jacobabad. 11 air defense systems of Pakistan paralyzed. Pakistan's military assets
Yeah,
left
there.
completely exposed.
Yes.
Pakistan's combat readiness completely shattered to smithereens. But I'll tell you what, just give me 10 seconds. यहाँ अमेरिकन्स की बहुत बातें हो रही हैं, तो ये जो अमेरिका कहते हैं, I will read out a tweet in 20 seconds. Bear with me. I'll tell you at the end who said this. Operation Sindoor was not about occupation or regime change. It was limited war executed for specific objectives. Critics who argue that India should have gone further miss the point. Strategic success isn't about the scale of destruction. It is about achieving the desired political effect. And then, very quickly, India's restraint is not weakness, it is maturity. It imposed costs, redefined thresholds, and retained escalation dominance. India did not just respond to an attack, it changed the strategic equation forever. This is a tweet
I
by
can
John
write better English than
Spencer,
that. I can write
one of
better
the
English than that.
foremost war and security experts from the United States of America.
Yeah, he was on my show and he made that comment. But I just want to play out that DGMO, Lieutenant General's bite once, viewers. This is not a ceasefire. They said best of pause. Listen in.
Being well aware and familiar with the congenital and impulsive nature of our adversary, and even though we did attempt to reach out and communicate our compulsions to strike at the heart of terror to my counterpart in the immediate wake of Operation Sindoor, the request was brusquely turned down, with an intimation that a severe response was inevitable and in the offing. We were, of course, prepared.
Now, viewers, it's very specific There, the Lieutenant General spells out the narrow, limited objectives of India's enterprise. Before that, of course, the Prime Minister in Bihar had made that declaration. So, Sheikh Amir, I have to ask you this question. Remember, viewers, this is a party that in 2019 opened a party office in Turkey, despite knowing that Turkey was plotting against India, funding, arming the Pakistanis. And the drones that were used were all Turkish, most of them. And it goes there and sets up an office. For what reason, no one knows. Because it signed an MOU with China. An MOU with China roughly around just after the 26/11 attacks, roughly around then. An MOU, party to party, and you know those pictures, you've seen it. This is a political party, viewers, that shook hands privately, got a photograph taken with Yasin Malik, one of Pakistan deep state's #1 assets in this country, who was the principal accused in the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus. Now, Sheikh Amir and Tushar Gupta are here with us. Sheikh Amir, I want you to answer. Why is it that the UPA never marked Kargil Vijay Divas for 5 years? Can you tell me?
First of all, I would say that I don't know why was the BJP spokesperson screaming.
I'm
that
asking you, Sheikh Amir, a simple question.
If you can
Why
hear me.
did for 5 years? No, you hear me because maybe you didn't get my question. I
got
asked you a very
your-
specific question. Answer the question if you have guts. Okay? Why did you not celebrate Kargil Vijay Divas for 5 years when the UPA was in power between 2004 and 2009? Tell me.
I will answer the way I want to.
No. I want you to
Don't
answer
dictate
my
me how I
question,
have to
not
answer.
the way you want to,
Sanju-
sir, because
Sanju
you will
Verma
not
was
answer.
saying that-
You are
Sanju Verma was
adept at
here
you are
and I
adept
need
at
uninterrupted
deflection.
time.
So I'm asking you a
When
specific
Sanju Verma
question.
said-
Okay.
when
I'm
Sanju-
asking you a
when Sanju
specific
Verma
question.
said that she needs
Why is it that
uninterrupted
you did
time,
not
then
celebrate?
Let me tell you, you only give uninterrupted time to those who bash Congress,
Not
praise Modi,
answering,
praise
not
BJP.
answering means that you have something which is extremely insubstantial in response. So I would advise you to respond. I'm asking you a question. Why for 5 years did you not celebrate Kargil Vijay Divas? Explain it to me.
I said I will answer the way I want to. You give uninterrupted time to only those people who bash Congress, bash Rahul Gandhi, praise Modi, praise BJP, and you're okay with that because that's your line, that's your take. The Indian media has humiliated us
Indian media.
on the global stage by doing their propaganda because you are only concerned with that. You are only concerned how Congress, has to be put in bad light. You have to criticize. I also raised this question that the way you, the tagline was initially in the start of debate, there was a pic of Rahul Gandhi with Asim Munir. What was that? What are you trying to do? Your only concern is that you have to bash Congress. You are talking about Operation Sindoor. You don't talk about what Jaishankar said, that he gave time to Pakistani military.
Viewers, this is the photograph that he's talking about. It's the middle of your screens. It's been put out by the BJP and the Congress has responded by putting out that photo. It's a very balanced show. It shows everything.
No, when you are showing
hang on. Listen, Sheikh Amir, are you here to do a drama? Because if you are, go to Bollywood. In fact, you won't make the part there because you don't look good enough. But the point is, let me ask you a question. Fine, you're having a problem explaining to me why for 5 years you could not celebrate Vijay Divas. Fine, okay. Maybe you didn't think we won. I want you to ask this question. Do you believe that Operation Sindoor was a chutput operation? And if so, why?
What kind of operation that you have to succumb before Trump? And you are here every time you change your line. Earlier you were saying we will capture POK, we are going to take Karachi, Lahore. Our people have reached Lahore, we are going to take back POK, Balochistan will be ours. Now you change the line. And suddenly,
Okay, stop here. Now I want you to listen, viewers, to Trump's bite, where he does a complete somersault.
The
U-turn.
raw material,
The person
you gave
that they're
raw
believing.
material
Now,
to
just
the
a minute,
Pakistan
viewers.
media.
The person these Sheikh Amir and company are believing is a congenital liar. I have no problem saying it. I have zero problem saying it. Congenital liar who does a somersault. Listen to this now, viewers. He says, listen to it. You listen to it yourselves.
On Saturday, my administration helped broker a full and immediate ceasefire, I think a permanent one, between India and Pakistan, ending a dangerous conflict of two nations with lots of nuclear weapons.
I don't want to say I did, but I sure as hell helped settle the problem between Pakistan and India last week, which was getting more and more hostile. And all of a sudden, you'll start seeing missiles of a different type.
Because this is a congenital liar. On May 12th, he says, I brokered a ceasefire, helped broker a ceasefire. And then 3 days later, I don't want to say I did, he says. I don't want to say I did broker a ceasefire. But I certainly helped. Viewers,
yes.
but that man's word is gospel for Sheikh Amir. Because you see, Sheikh Amir wants to get to perhaps America and work there. He wants a nice visa from the Americans. Listen, Mr. Sheikh Amir, I asked you a simple question. You have today dismissed, viewers, this man, this Congress party spokesperson. I want to bring in Mr. Gupta. 1 second. Mr. Gupta, how do you respond to what you've heard from Sheikh Amir? First things first. I asked him 2 pointed questions. I didn't get a direct response. On the Kargil question, he completely skipped it, choosing to attack me. And on the second question, he's believing a man who made a flip in 3 days. I want to ask you, why does the Congress often end up speaking the language of enemies, and do military successes under Modi government trigger political insecurity in the Congress? Simple question. As an analyst, you respond.
Rahul, point number one, Mr. Amir may not like it, but it's true that the Pakistani news channels are quoting Rahul Gandhi and his poetry on their television. They are quoting their questions, they're quoting the comments they're making on Operation Sindoor. Number two, only Congress can explain why they're insecure about the success of Operation Sindoor, probably because it proves their incompetence in reacting to the terror threats we faced between 2004 and 2014. It proves their incompetence in handling the situation of 26/11. Point number three, Rahul, Congress is bringing up Indira Gandhi and the war of 1971. Just now, an hour ago, Supriya Shrinate and Pawan Khera, they've put out a post saying that you had to go all the way like Indira Gandhi did. What they are not telling the world is that Indira Gandhi, in the Simla Agreement of 1972, gave up more than 5,000 square miles of Pakistani mainland territory. She gave it up, the captured territory in Pakistani mainland. Mind you, this is not Kashmir, Pakistani mainland in the Punjab region. She gave it up. Why? Question number 4, Vivek Srivastava, who I questioned in the previous debate on a different channel as well. Rahul, did you know in the 2024 manifesto of CPIM, the CPIM suggested that India should denuclearize? Despite of having two neighbors who are nuclear armed, CPIM, the party the interest Vivek Srivastava represents, said that India should give up its nuclear weapons. Today on your show, can Vivek Srivastava clarify that does he still stand with the idea of India giving up its nuclear arsenal? And point number 5, no one, Rahul, no one in the opposition is able to digest the fact that we have hit Pakistan from Skardu to Karachi 380 kilometers deep inside the territory, even in Jacobabad. No one in the opposition can digest that we did not care if the military bases also served the CPEC, the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a failed experiment. India did not care. The moment we were attacked with drones and missiles on 15 of our cities, we battered their entire Air Force infrastructure. This is what the opposition cannot handle, the decimation of Pakistan. 5 simple points. But here, I want Vivek Srivastava to answer my question. Does he still stand by CPIM's agenda to ask India to give up its nuclear arsenal? Yes or no?
Rahul, can I come in?
Respond. Vivek Srivastava, respond to that question, pointed question.
Yeah. No, bilkul, absolutely. It should be a nuclear-free world. That is how, and that is going to be the future, maybe 200-300 years down the lane. That's a different issue. लेकिन सर आपको न्यूक्लियर की जरूरत क्या है? पापा
You want India to give up its nuclear weapons? You want India to give up its nuclear weapons? Yes or no? Don't say nuclear free world, because that's what, no, your manifesto didn't say all that. Your manifesto was, I remember your manifesto, it was very clear. India should denuclearize. I want to ask you, should India give up its nuclear weapons?
Yeah. If it is a part of a global denuclearization program, yes, it should. Why not?
Where is the statement? Let me pull out that statement, viewers. There was never a condition. There was never a condition. The point is, viewers.
Rahul, this cannot be blabbering by this guy.
The point is, one second. The point is, viewers. The point is, a party that trivializes military valor, that calls a paradigm redefining operation like Operation Sindoor a chutput event, viewers, cannot be trusted with India's security. It's very, very simple. Yes, make your point, Sanju Verma. I need to move on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The past is
Rahul, very
something
quickly,
different
I
from
just
what
want to
you
say
speak,
this.
Mr. Rahul.
Please, Rahul, this is not fair. Vivek Srivastava, hold your horses. Rahul, you have
Calm
to
down,
moderate.
calm down, Vivek Srivastava, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. आप तो उनको गाली दे रहे थे 2009 में, आप तो मनमोहन सिंह को गाली दे रहे थे 2009 में. आपने कहा when they signed the nuclear deal. No, 1 minute. Now hang on, viewers. This guy is now getting under. Now this guy is getting under. Hang on. Let me. I'm lowering everyone's faders for 30 seconds, viewers. Just 1 second, please. I'll come back to you, Sanju Verma. Just 1 second. Because this man says we never bowed to America. The Congress has never bowed to America. This man, the CPIM, its 60 odd MPs decided to withdraw support. Mr. Gupta, correct me if I'm wrong, in 2009, accusing Manmohan Singh of bowing to America. And General Bakshi will remember this. And there are others who will remember this. General Bakshi was there also on these news channels precisely at that time in 2009, viewers, when the communists said that the Congress had surrendered to the Americans. This is the man, viewers, two-faced individual. Today he is supporting the Congress who his own party accused of surrendering India's national interest to the Americans, and they withdrew support. This is that person, viewers. Today, look at this, 360-degree turn because politically it suits them. This, viewers, is the face. In fact, the only time, viewers, that the left and the BJP have stood together in Parliament was also on another nuclear question, about lowering liabilities on nuclear suppliers. And today, viewers, these people are giving us lectures and talking up the Congress. Anyhow, Sanju Verma, 30 seconds and I need to move on. Yes.
Rahul, I just want to say this.
Yeah.
They criticized Rafale. They demonized BrahMos. They demonized S-400. They did not take action after 26/11. They did not take action after Chinnaswamy Stadium blast.
Yes.
They did not take action after German bakery blast.
Yes.
Who are the they?
Yes.
They, matlab Congress. They,
Yes.
matlab Rahul Gandhi.
Yes.
They, matlab Jairam Ramesh.
Okay.
They, matlab Tapaswi Pawan
Okay.
Khera. Shame on you guys.
Okay.
You guys
Viewers.
are anti-national.
Okay. That is the BJP's charge, viewers. The other side says that we are not the ones who surrender the national interest and so on and so forth. I want to move on, viewers, because General Bakshi is here and I want his views on something that is very close to my heart. Major Jolly is also going to be here with us. Vivek Srivastava is also going to be with us. And we are going to be joined by Deepak Vora. Now, General Saab, I'm going to read out a few lines to you, and this is an important occasion. And on the right, we are seeing the resumption. Viewers, the resumption of the Atari-Wagah border crossing shenanigans. Operation Sindoor, viewers, is being chalked up as a famous victory in the annals of India's military history, not only because our forces redefined the rules of warfare between nuclear dyads, but also because it exposed the true face of Pakistan's military. A morally dissolute, bumbling band of brigands that cowered behind a civilian shield, and when they mustered enough courage to retaliate, they did by targeting unarmed civilians in India. These are the traits of terrorists, not a professional fighting force steeped in honor and stapled by valor. It would be an act of criminal dereliction for anyone to even attempt to draw an equivalence between the militaries of India and Pakistan. So, it comes as a mighty jolt when, viewers, it has been decided that we must resume the beating retreat ceremony at the Atari-Wagah border. Now, viewers, resuming the ceremony normalizes Pakistan's deceitful deprivations at a time when India should be using every arrow in its quiver to expose the Pakistan state for what it is, truly a criminal organization that has scant regard for international law. And therefore, viewers, I have decided to speak out against this bizarre theatrics, where we give Pakistani army the opportunity to share a platform with our army. And General Bakshi, I want you to tell me if I'm right or wrong. Should we normalize this deceit by Pakistan by endeavoring to participate in things like this? General Sir.
Absolutely not. I'm in fact a bit shocked that we have decided to normalize at such a fast pace. We are very quick at forgetting our dead, very quick at forgetting our victims, and move on and get a move on. And tomorrow there will be cricket, the day after there will be mushairas, and then there will be business as usual with that Aman Ki Asha brigade, that sick in the head brigade. You know, frankly, you know, I don't want to say this, but the simple fact is that, you know, military retreat ceremonies are a very, very solemn ritual in the armed forces. They have been given another twist by this, but it is you know, it appeals to popular sentiment, so we go along with it. We say nothing. If it makes the paramilitary boys happy, if it makes the crowds happy, so we just keep quiet. But is this the right time to resume? Have things become normal? What if tomorrow there is another terror attack and then there is shooting war? Then I mean, all these guys will be running for cover, man. So why do it?
Yeah, and I don't think,
you know, we had a bloody ceasefire with Pakistan.
Yes.
We had a ceasefire with Pakistan, and they just, I don't know who in the government was hell-bent, kuch bhi ho jaye, hum ye ceasefire nahi abrogate karenge, till Pakistan did it. And they started firing, you know, Chinese A-105 multi-barrel rocket launchers, equivalents of our Smirch across. They killed 17 of our people. So then we said, oh, we'll also break the ceasefire. I mean, the Pakistanis did it for us. Why? What was so bloody sacrosanct about this ceasefire?
Absolutely.
What is so great about this ceremony कि हम मर जाएंगे अगर ये एक साल नहीं हुई, एक महीना नहीं हुई, 2 महीना नहीं हुई, महीना नहीं बीता है तुम्हारा. Why do you want to normalize? And then you say कि, you know, there is no ceasefire. Operation Sindoor is on. If it is on, then stop this.
Viewers, this is the view.
Stop this.
This is a view of a person who has served this country. And I can tell you, viewers, that I don't think, and I'm going to bring in Major Jolly also, somebody who served this country. Major Jolly, I don't think there are, you know, to use a colloquial expression, that our boys will be very happy shaking hands with a coward force that targeted our innocents. They didn't even have the guts to target their military counterparts. They did it a couple of times, they failed, and after that they started bombing civilian villages, killing children, granthis, etc. I don't think anyone gets a great pleasure shaking that Pakistani chap's hand. Do you, Major John?
Thanks, Rahul. And I totally agree with you. This was not required at this point. See, firstly, what General Bakshi said, the beating retreat is a very solemn and somber type of event that happens at end of the day when the armies would have fought their war and you take down your flag. You do that, they did that. And Atari was a major crossing point, Amritsar, Lahore. It was a trading post. People used to come and go. So I think what slowly graduated into it, turned it into a symbol of jingoism and proud, and people can come there and get charged up. Fine. As sir said, it is okay for people to have a good time that way. But after Operation Sindoor to start
you could have a good time in other ways. You could have staged a reenactment of some battle that we won, etc. You could open a museum. There are many other ways of getting a flavor.
This is actually makes no sense at all.
Absolutely.
Because we are again starting on the same things that start getting normal.
Of course,
This
there
is
are
the
people
first
like
step.
Vivek Srivastava who won't mind this, I'm sure. I hope, Vivek Srivastava, you have the sense, at least tonight, to stand with the military people and say this tamasha should not be enacted.
नो तमाशा होता है जब यहाँ के ट्रेडर्स बड़े बड़े बिजली देते हैं पाकिस्तान को, ट्रेडिंग करना चाहते हैं, मोदी पे प्रेशर डालते हैं कि जाओ ट्रंप को समझाओ कि सीज फायर करवाए, उसको कहते हैं तमाशा.
Okay.
ये छोटी मोटी सेरेमनीज तमाशा
I
नहीं
really
है.
don't want to listen to this person anymore. This guy, hang on. I think Vivek Srivastava, I'm sorry, but there's a certain perversity. There's a certain perversity that is flowing through your blood. A perversity. I'm sorry, sir. But this is Deepak Vora. I mean, you're a diplomat. What are we trying to achieve here? What are we trying to achieve by this show? What are we trying to do? This is not diplomatic, in any way, diplomatic sort of, resolution, etc. This is complete. This is the equivalent of being deluded diplomatically. I'm sorry to say this. What are we doing?
Thank you very much, sir. Always a pleasure, sir. Great honor. And thank you for asking me. I listened to General Bakshi, who's an international legend. And he's someone I worship, sir. Outstanding human being. And so are you, one of our best anchors.
Thank you, sir.
So let me put it to you in a different perspective. This is a minor issue. And when I say minor, it's important, significant, but minor in the overall context of our bilateral relationship. We are sons of Chanakya, certainly in the diplomatic service. And Chanakya had said one thing, strategic deception, which means that you give these guys little things, but you keep the big picture intact. We're not going to go back on the Indus Water Treaty. We're not going to go back on the offer we've made to Afghanistan at their request to build the dams to stop the Kabul River from flowing into the Indus and Attock. This is very minor, sir, and this is, of course, meant to give them as much as to anybody else the idea that, all right, we may be softening. We're not softening at all, sir. An exchange at the border is not something, General Bakshi, sir, that I would be, I don't like it. The fact that we, at least we're not shaking hands, that we get our people to see this spectacle. But at the same time, sir, I think this is strategic planting this confusion in the minds of those jokers from across those nattering nabobs of negativism.
We can, I just have to make it very clear, viewers, that this is jarring. It's only been a week. And this tamasha is back. This is almost like rewarding those people from across the border. We're giving them a show. I don't know why. Anyhow, viewers, enough said, but there has been an important development, and Deepak Vora is here, General Bakshi is here. Thank you, Vivek Srivastava. Thank you for joining us and sharing your perverse insights. That's all I can say. But have a good night. I hope you can sleep well after what you've said. Let down your army, betrayed the spirit that the armed forces have exhibited in defending this country. Major Jolly is here also with us. I want to speak a little bit about a very significant development that has taken place in Pakistan. Viewers, you have to be deluded to give yourself a promotion for losing a war. But that's exactly what Pakistani Army Chief Munir has done. The failed general who lost a war to India has now appointed himself Field Marshal. Of course, the announcement was made by the civilian government, but we all know who is the power behind the throne in Pakistan. It is actually Munir giving himself an award, a promotion. Munir promotes Munir. If confirmation was needed that Pakistan suffered heavily at the hands of India, it was given by the Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif himself when he came out and said, if you all remember, viewers, that I was swimming in my bathtub and I got a call. And it was General Munir who says they have blasted our airfield. In particular one which is in Rawalpindi. Viewers, this man is a failed marshal. He's not a field marshal. He hid in a bunker for 2 hours as India targeted 11 Pakistani air bases. Munir was nicknamed the deceiver by his military batchmates. At Pak Army Chief, Munir was at the beck and call of the Chinese government. He's referred to as Mullah Munir in Pakistan's military circles. He's patronized terror, officers' funeral of terrorists slain in Operation Sindoor. This is not field marshal material. He is the marshal of Dehshatgiri in Vardi, terror in uniform, in Baluchistan, Waziristan, Sindh. He's a reprehensible character. But I want to understand why this is happening, and this is really very, very important. General Bakshi, is this now the formal announcement really of the military capturing all the organs of the state in a sense? Is this the announcement of this man as a supreme dictator? What's going on? Please explain.
You know, Rahul, from day one, I and some of my friends have been maintaining that the entire project of this fifth India-Pakistan round was orchestrated by this man to get himself a promotion. You see, theoretically, a field marshal in the British military tradition, which India and Pakistan have inherited, never retires. So here he is given himself a promotion for life. You know, people were saying he's already gotten a 2 years extension, by the way, right? He was to retire this year, November, but he is now, in the time when he got, Imran Khan out, this very grateful government gave him an extension of 2 years. That means he goes till 27. But this man wanted to emulate Ziaul Haq, who hung on for 11 years till the exploding mangoes, ended his tenure, right? And then we have the Commando General Parvez Musharraf, who also hung on for close to 11 years. So he wanted to replicate that decadal tenure, and more. He has made himself Field Marshal. He's copied Field Marshal Ayub Khan, right? I think his next dream is to become the President of Pakistan, change the governmental system to a presidential form, and hang on till somebody assassinates him.
Okay.
Or the corps commanders decide to send him packing, right?
Okay.
He's done it all.
Yeah.
This war
I get the point you're making. So this is a soft coup. You're saying this is a soft coup.
The only person who deserved a promotion, if at all, from the Pakistani viewpoint, was the Pakistani air chief.
That's right.
He said that he controlled all the fighters,
That's right. So, okay. So this
man is a comical
He's a usurper.
Chap. Grasshopper Green is a comical chap.
So this viewers is a soft coup in a sense. Okay, that's one view. Major Jolly.
Yeah, Rahul, what I think has happened is this was pre-decided that Shehbaz Sharif now stands on that position where the delegation in China would have informed the Chinese that our general is taking over. He's becoming the field marshal. It is a matter of another 3 to 6 months before they give a soft exit to Shehbaz Sharif, settle him down comfortably, US, UK, Canada, that kind of thing. And he takes over the control of the country as his dream always has been. But because of Operation Sindoor's success, he could not do it immediately, and he's taken that pause of couple of months by keeping Shehbaz Sharif in space. So what is happening is, this is again, and I must say that last time Pakistan had a field marshal, within 4 years Bangladesh was formed. So this time it's turn for Baluchistan. So good luck, Baluchistan. I think this field marshal is going to do that for you.
Well, if history repeats itself, sometimes it repeats itself as a farce, as we know. Let me bring in Deepak Vora. Deepak Vora, what do you make of this? What is going on, according to you?
Thank you very much, sir. With due respect to General Saab and to Major Saab, I'll tell you my assessment. General Saab, if I'm not wrong, I come from a military family. Field Marshal is an appointment. He has no power. Gets a pension for life, carries the title for life. I believe he's being eased out. He is dangerous for his country. He might just land up before the International Criminal Court, what he's doing in Balochistan, crimes against humanity, war crimes, etc. He is being sidelined. So this is my understanding. And within a few weeks, you will see this nattering nabob of negativism being sent off somewhere, and he'll go off and he'll get a good pension, etc. And he'll drink all the whiskey he wants, etc. But there are people within the military. Now, hear me out, sir. Within this wretched institution called the Pakistan military, who are unhappy with it. So we've done a regression analysis. I'm a development economist. General Bakshi, the total loss that your outstanding military has caused to Pakistan, we estimate, sir, again, I might be off the mark, about 15 billion, that's 9 zeros, 15 billion US dollars. That's the equipment they've lost, the aircraft they've lost, the runways, the damage. The reconstruction cost is about $15 billion. One man, they don't want him, sir. My own feeling is that this is a face-saving device, an honorable exit for this fellow. After a little while, I don't think he's going to be sent off as ambassador here, there, or where. He will retire somewhere and enjoy his whatever he does to enjoy himself. Somebody else will take over. This is my assessment. Otherwise, sir, the army, the field marshal cannot be the army chief. They're very clear because he doesn't take any decisions. He has no additional power. Either then he boots out the government, in which case they'll have a lot of issues, and the commander-in-chief of the Pakistani army under their existing constitution is the president, who is therefore surrendering everything to this cabinet. I believe he's on his way out.
Okay, on his way out. General Saab, please respond.
I have the greatest of respect for my very dear friend and colleague Deepak, Ambassador Vora. I totally respect his views, and he may well be right. But, you know, then he is putting the field marshal tradition as it is, respected in India, right? Sam was the first field marshal, appointed immediately after the Bangladesh victory in the Bangladesh war, and that was a great, great victory at the global scale, right? And then there were immediate questions. His successor said, I didn't know, General Baboor said, I didn't know where I would stand. But then, you know, in the democratic traditions, he was eased out. Deepak, all that I would say is, in Pakistan, democratic traditions of, you know, field marshal as an honorary rank does not hold. So there it was Field Marshal Ayub Khan, you know, who sort of held. And therefore, I'm not too sure whether we've seen the back of this pain in the neck.
Okay, well, Major Jolly says that it lasted 4 years. The last,
but like I say, vive la différence.
That's right.
Vive la différence.
Well, I just hope if Deepak Vora is right, and if he is being kicked upwards and then sidelined, you know, he said, I don't know what he'll do. I just hope they give him a prayer mat, because he will probably be leading the congregation in the Bahawalpur Masjid once it is reconstructed. That's what he's good at doing. Mullah Munir. I'll leave it at that, viewers. I'll leave it at that.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Khan back then was the president and appointed himself field marshal. Here, an Asim Munir is being appointed by the cabinet and by the prime minister, rank of field marshal. Please note this. He is not from any official military academy. He finished the careers, literally, that's what's reported, of 20 lieutenant generals. He forcibly removed, incarcerated and elected leader, a sitting prime minister in Imran Khan. Imran's close aide said that the Pakistan Democracy Act introduced in the US Parliament had recommended sanctions against Asim Munir for visa restrictions and asset freeze. Munir wants to take control of Pakistan before November 2025 to save himself from this bill. Pak Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif remains a puppet in the hands of Munir, who is in the driving seat and who had the steerings of the nation is very clearly seen. This man has been nicknamed the deceiver by his batchmates when he was a major or a junior officer. He was referred to, or he's continuously referred to in the military circles in Pakistan as Chachu Whiskey and erstwhile elsewhere as Mullah Munir. In these military circles, this is reported. He led Dehshatgardi in Vardi in areas like Balochistan, Waziristan, Pakhtunistan, Sindh, POK. ये जो दहशतगर्दी है, इसके पीछे वर्दी है, is a coinage which continues under his leadership in these regions. He tarnished the code of the uniform by equating it with service to religion rather than service to nation. You ask any person who's donned the uniform across the world would say we serve the country, not a particular religion, but this man changed that code. He spewed bigoted political venom and further insulted the uniform. Asim Munir could not prevent the Baloch Liberation Army capturing the Manguchor town in Balochistan. He could do nothing in the Jafar Express hijack when his own personnel were taken hostage. There are visuals of how the Pakistan army was battered at the hands of the BLA during the Jafar Express hijack incident. He saw patronized terror infrastructure demolished under Operation Sindoor. He was moved to a bunker for 2 hours as 11 air bases were pounded, 20% of the entire armed forces infrastructure decimated in less than 25 minutes. He tried to humanize his failure and avoid scrutiny of strategic failures of radar gaps during Operation Sindoor. Bharat strikes exposed Pakistan's weak ammunition. Munir's military stretched thin amid economic unrest. It's a nation that is going around with a begging bowl. 40% of this entire budget of Pakistan is consumed by the defense. He's charged with multiple acts of corruption and looting billions of dollars of Pakistan people's money and pocketing it himself. Bharat's drone warfare exposing Pakistan's defense vulnerabilities. He highlighted civilian casualties to reinforce Pakistan's victimhood narrative globally, according to intel sources, but not one salute or guard of honor to the braves in Pakistani uniform who have been consumed because of his act. Munir scrambling to secure financial aid. He is at the beck and call of Beijing. This J-35 fighters that has come at 50% discount, please be rest assured that he is sacrificing at the altar of his own sustenance the entire sovereignty of Pakistan, declaring it or rendering it a near vassal state at the hands of Beijing and the CCP. There's been an overwhelming response for Asim Munir. That's what many believe, and that's what is being made out to play, but he's caught in his own labyrinth. The simple question is, viewers, does he deserve to be called Field Marshal, or is he actually a failed marshal? Ambassador Rajiv Dogra is with us, Tilak Devasharji is joining us, Major Manik Jolly with us, and we also have with us at the top Ahmad Mustaqan, Baloch activist. My namaste.
Hello, namaskar. This is First Post and you're watching Vantage with me, Palki Sharma. Pakistan has just pulled off the ultimate Uno reverse. First they lost the war, now they're rewarding themselves. General Asim Munir has promoted himself. He is now Field Marshal Asim Munir. For what? Maybe for hiding in a bunker during Operation Sindoor. So what's going on here? Does Pakistan genuinely think they won? We'll discuss that. Meanwhile, China is rushing to the rescue of its iron brother Pakistan after India suspended the Indus Waters Treaty. Beijing is accelerating the construction of a new dam in the country, in Pakistan. We'll tell you about this new dam war. China has also unveiled a new weapon, a mothership that can fire 100 drones at once. Is it a lethal weapon or a sitting duck? Also, why is India's Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar visiting the Netherlands for his first trip after Operation Sindoor? We will bring you a report on Pakistan's decades-old Dutch connection. And in Bangladesh, rumours of a coup. Will the Yunus regime's actions force the hand of the army chief? India has fact-checked Donald Trump's claims of brokering a ceasefire. But there's one ceasefire he cannot take the credit for, and that is in the Ukraine war. We will tell you how Putin is outplaying Trump. In Gaza, citizens are protesting against Hamas.